Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever felt like you were being pulled away from the crowd for a reason you couldn't quite explain? As if there is a weight on your heart telling you that you were meant for something much deeper than the life you are currently living? If that resonates with you, then you are not here by accident. Today we are diving into a profound conversation about the chosen ones and why Allah is calling you to act right now. In this episode, we are going to explore the signs of your calling, the purpose behind your isolation, and how to finally step into the role you were created for. You are going to learn so much today about your own journey and the divine responsibility placed upon your shoulders, so make sure you stay with me until the very end. This is the wake-up call you have been waiting for. You have likely spent your entire life feeling like an outsider, wondering why you don't fit into the social circles or mindsets that everyone else seems to enjoy. This internal friction isn't a flaw in your character. It is a divine frequency being tuned by your Creator to ensure you don't get too comfortable in a world that isn't your final destination. When you stop trying to force yourself into boxes that were never meant for you, you begin to realize that your strangeness is actually a form of protection. This restlessness you feel in your soul is a direct signal from Allah, a spiritual nudge meant to wake you up from the slumber of the everyday routine. Most people are content with the surface of life, but you feel a constant pull toward the depths, seeking answers that others aren't even asking for. This sensitivity to the unseen and the spiritual is a gift, a specific resonance that allows you to hear the call of duty while others remain distracted by the noise of the world. As you start to embrace this unique frequency, you will notice that your intuition becomes sharper, and your sense of purpose becomes undeniable. This is the stage where you must stop apologizing for being different and start recognizing that your perspective is a tool for the mission ahead. Allah has intentionally distanced your heart from the mundane so that it can be fully occupied by His guidance and the path He has specifically designed for you. The moment you decide to follow the path of the chosen, you will face the immediate challenge of breaking free from the opinions and expectations of those around you. For too long, you may have measured your worth through the eyes of people who do not understand your journey, leading to a cycle of people-pleasing that drains your spiritual energy. Realizing that you cannot serve two masters is the turning point where you stop seeking validation from the creation and start seeking it only from the Creator. Breaking these chains requires a radical shift in your internal hierarchy, placing Allah's command above the comfort of social acceptance. It is a painful process to let go of the need to be understood by everyone, but it is the only way to gain the freedom necessary for true service. When you stop living for the applause of people, you find a level of sincerity in your actions that was previously impossible, allowing your light to shine without the shadows of ego. This transformation often leads to a shift in your relationships, as those who benefited from your lack of boundaries may resist your new strength. You must remain firm in the knowledge that your loyalty belongs to the truth first, and anyone who asks you to compromise that truth is a distraction from your higher calling. By setting these boundaries, you are not being unkind. You are simply protecting the sacred work that Allah has entrusted to you. Finally, as the fear of judgment fades, you will experience a profound sense of peace that no amount of human praise could ever provide. You become an anchor for others not because you are trying to please them, but because your unwavering commitment to Allah makes you a source of genuine strength and clarity. This is the true power of the chosen one. To stand alone if necessary, knowing that if Allah is with you, the opinion of the world carries no weight at all. The isolation you are experiencing right now is not a punishment, but a divine invitation to a higher state of being. Allah often pulls His chosen servants away from the crowd, because the noise of society prevents the heart from hearing the subtle guidance of the heavens. This period of solitude is a sacred classroom where the distractions of friendship, social status, and worldly entertainment are stripped away, leaving only you and your Creator. It is in this silence that you are forced to confront your own soul and build a foundation that is not dependent on anyone else. During this time, you may feel as though the world has turned its back on you, or that people you once trusted have suddenly drifted away. This is a deliberate clearing of your space as Allah removes the voices that would otherwise interfere with the wisdom He is about to instill in you. If you were surrounded by people, you would look to them for comfort and advice, but in isolation, you have no choice but to turn your face toward the One who created you. This dependency on Him alone is the greatest strength a believer can possess. This season of loneliness is also where your spiritual armor is forged. Just as a seed must be buried in the darkness of the earth before it can break through the surface and grow toward the sun, your soul is currently in the darkness of isolation to prepare for a massive expansion. You are being refined, purged of superficial desires, and taught how to find peace within your own heart. This internal stillness is what will allow you to remain calm and focused when you are eventually called back into the world to lead and serve. As you sit in this quiet space, you begin to realize that you were never truly alone. The more you detach from the creation, the more you feel the presence of the Creator in every breath and every thought. This intimacy with the divine is the reward for enduring the isolation. You are learning to converse with Allah, to trust His timing, and to recognize His signs without the interference of human ego. This is the stage where your character is built and your true identity as a servant of the Most High is solidified. By the time this period of isolation ends, you will emerge as a completely different person, someone who is no longer swayed by the trends of the world or the whims of the public. You will carry a quiet authority and a deep sense of mission because you have spent time in the company of the truth. This solitude was necessary to ensure that when you finally act, your actions come from a place of pure intention rather than a desire for attention. Embrace this time, for it is the hallmark of every great soul that was ever chosen for a significant purpose. We are living in an era of unprecedented distraction and spiritual decay, which is exactly why your awakening is happening right now. The signs of the times are clear to anyone with an open heart. The world is hungry for authenticity, truth, and divine light. You are being called to act because the collective consciousness is shifting, and there is a desperate need for individuals who are grounded in faith to stand up as beacons of hope. Your presence in this timeline is not a coincidence. You were placed here specifically to contribute to the healing and guidance of the Ummah. The urgency of this call stems from the fact that the window of opportunity to make a real impact is narrowing. Every day we see the breakdown of traditional values and the rise of confusion, making it vital for those who have been chosen to stop hesitating and start leading. You cannot afford to wait for a perfect moment or for someone else to take the first step. The restlessness you feel is the alarm clock of the soul, telling you that the time for preparation is transitioning into the time for execution. Allah's timing is perfect, and if He has opened your eyes to the truth today, it is because there are people whose lives depend on your growth and your actions. Your unique talents, your specific life experiences, and even your past struggles have all been curated to prepare you for the challenges of this specific age. When you look at the state of the world, don't just see the chaos. See the vacuum that your light is meant to fill. The darker the night becomes, the more valuable even the smallest flame becomes. This call to action is a mercy from Allah, giving you the chance to secure your legacy in both this life and the hereafter. To ignore the call now is to risk falling back into the cycle of a mundane, purposeless existence while the world continues to drift. You are part of a spiritual movement that transcends borders and languages, a global awakening of hearts returning to their origin. By acting now, you align yourself with the divine flow and become a vessel through which Allah's mercy reaches others. The era of passive faith is over. The current state of the world demands a faith that moves, speaks, and transforms environments. Every moment you spend in doubt is a moment lost in the service of the truth. Understand that you are being empowered by the Creator Himself to be a source of clarity in a world of confusion. Step forward with the conviction that you are backed by the heavens, and realize that your decision to act today will ripple through generations, fulfilling the purpose for which you were brought into existence. The journey toward fulfilling your divine purpose must begin internally, for a vessel cannot pour what it does not contain. Purifying the heart, or tazkiyah, is the process of removing the rust of worldly attachments, arrogance, and hidden envy that block the light of guidance. You cannot expect to carry a heavy mission while your soul is weighed down by unresolved trauma or spiritual sickness. By turning inward and addressing these shadows, you create a clean space for Allah's wisdom to reside, ensuring that your outward actions are a true reflection of inner purity. This purification requires a radical honesty with oneself, identifying the habits and thoughts that pull you away from your highest potential. It is about weeding out the ego, the part of you that seeks credit, fame, or superiority over others. When the heart is purified, your intentions become transparent and your connection to the divine becomes unshakable. You start to see that every trial you faced was actually a tool used by Allah to scrub away your impurities, preparing you to hold the immense responsibility of being a chosen one. As you engage in this inner healing, you will notice a profound shift in your energy and how you interact with the world. Things that used to trigger anger or resentment no longer have power over you because your heart is occupied by the remembrance of Allah. This clarity allows you to act with precision and grace, as you are no longer reacting from a place of hurt or You become a calm center in the middle of a storm, a person whose very presence brings peace to others, because you have found peace within yourself. Healing is not a one-time event, but a continuous discipline of returning to Allah after every slip. It involves asking for forgiveness not just for your actions, but for the stray thoughts that cloud your vision. This constant state of repentance keeps you humble and reminds you that your strength comes entirely from the Creator. The more you let go of the self, the more room there is for divine light to flow through you, turning your life into a living testimony of His mercy and power. Ultimately, a purified heart becomes a mirror that reflects the truth to everyone you encounter. You become a channel for healing in the lives of others, because you have done the difficult work of healing your own connection with Allah. This is the essential foundation. Without it, any success you achieve will be hollow and temporary. By prioritizing the state of your soul, you ensure that your mission is built on a rock-solid base that can withstand any external pressure or temptation. One of the greatest obstacles on the path of the chosen is the persistent whisper of self-doubt, often manifesting as the feeling that you are not good enough or qualified for such a high calling. You might look at your past mistakes or your current weaknesses and wonder why Allah would choose someone like you. This is a trap designed to keep you paralyzed in a state of inaction. You must realize that your qualifications do not come from your own perfection, but from the fact that Allah has decided to use you as an instrument for His will. Overcoming this imposter syndrome requires a shift from self-reliance to tawakkul, which is complete trust in Allah's choice. If the Creator of the heavens and the earth has called you to act, then He will provide the strength, the words, and the resources necessary for you to succeed. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to be willing and sincere. When you stop focusing on your own limitations and start focusing on the unlimited power of the One who sent you, the fear of failure begins to dissolve. Doubt is often a sign that you are on the verge of a major breakthrough, as the forces of distraction try hardest to stop those who are most capable of creating change. Instead of viewing doubt as a reason to stop, view it as a confirmation that your mission is significant. Every great prophet and servant in history felt moments of inadequacy, yet they moved forward because their commitment to the truth was greater than their fear of their own flaws. Your weaknesses are actually opportunities for Allah's grace to be manifested in your life. To silence the inner critic, you must replace the narrative of "I can't" with the reality of "Allah can." Practice gratitude for the small victories and the signs He sends to reassure you along the way. Surround yourself with the remembrance of His names, the opener, the provider, the sustainer, and realize that He does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. Your presence in this journey is proof that you have already been equipped with everything you need. You simply have to step into the role with courage. Once you conquer the shadow of self-doubt, you gain a level of fearlessness that changes everything. You no longer wait for permission from others or for a sense of total readiness that may never come. You act because you know that even your stumbling is part of a divine plan. This confidence is not rooted in arrogance, but in a profound humility that recognizes Allah is the true actor behind every success. With this mindset, you become unstoppable, moving forward with the quiet certainty of someone who knows they are exactly where they are supposed to be. Knowledge without action is like a tree that bears no fruit, and for the chosen one, the time for mere study must eventually evolve into the time for execution. You may have spent years consuming spiritual content, reading books and attending lectures, but faith only becomes transformative when it is put into practice. The transition from a passive believer to an active legacy builder requires you to take the wisdom you have gathered and apply it to the real-world problems facing the Ummah. You are being called to step out of the comfort of your private reflections and become a living embodiment of the values you hold dear. This shift involves recognizing that your life is a project dedicated to the service of others for the sake of Allah. A legacy is not built by what you take from the world, but by what you leave behind in the hearts and minds of people. Whether through your career, your words, or your character, every interaction is an opportunity to plant a seed of goodness. When you move with the intention of building a legacy, your perspective shifts from temporary gratification to eternal impact, ensuring that your work continues to benefit humanity long after you are gone. Being an active servant means looking for gaps where compassion and truth are missing and stepping in to fill them. It requires a proactive mindset where you no longer wait for someone else to fix the issues you see in your community or family. You understand that you were given your specific insights so that you could be the solution. This active faith is what distinguishes those who simply observe history from those who are chosen by Allah to shape it, turning every daily task into an act of worship. As you begin to build this legacy, you will find that your own life gains a sense of momentum and meaning that was previously missing. The stagnation and boredom that often plague a passive life disappear when you are focused on a mission larger than yourself. Your energy becomes renewed because you are tapping into a divine source of strength that rewards those who strive in His cause. This is where your potential meets reality and your abstract beliefs become concrete manifestations of mercy and guidance in the world. Ultimately, your legacy is the testimony that will speak for you on the day of judgment. By choosing to act now, you are ensuring that your life was not spent in vain or wasted on trivial pursuits. You are answering the call to be a light in the darkness, a voice for the voiceless, and a hand for the fallen. This commitment to active service is the highest form of gratitude for the guidance you have received, proving that you are not only a recipient of Allah's message, but a dedicated protector of it. The path of a chosen one is filled with spiritual warfare and external pressures, making the shield of prayer and remembrance your most vital defense. Without a consistent connection to Allah through salah and dhikr, the soul becomes vulnerable to the whispers of doubt and the draining energy of the world. Your daily prayers are not just rituals, they are strategic retreats where you recharge your spirit and realign your focus with the divine. This constant communication creates a protective barrier around your heart, allowing you to move through the world without being corrupted or exhausted by it. Dhikr, or the remembrance of Allah, serves as a constant anchor that keeps your mind from drifting into the anxieties of the future or the regrets of the past. By keeping the tongue moist with the praise of the Creator, you maintain a state of presence that is essential for effective action. This spiritual practice cleanses the mind of toxic thoughts and replaces them with a sense of peace that is unshakable. When your heart is full of the divine name, there is no room for fear or the influence of those who wish to pull you off your path. In moments of intense trial or public scrutiny, your internal shield is what keeps you grounded. The world will try to label you, judge you, or discourage you, but when your secret life with Allah is strong, these external noises cannot penetrate your inner sanctuary. You realize that your value is defined by the one who created you, not by the shifting opinions of society. This spiritual resilience is the secret weapon of the chosen, enabling them to remain steadfast and dignified even when they are standing completely alone. Furthermore, these spiritual tools refine your intuition, allowing you to sense danger or opportunity before it manifests physically. When you are in a state of constant remembrance, Allah grants you a furqan, or a criterion to distinguish between truth and falsehood. This clarity is indispensable for someone who has been called to lead or influence others. You become less prone to making impulsive decisions based on emotion, and more attuned to the subtle guidance that Allah provides to those who are truly devoted to Him. Finally, the discipline of maintaining your spiritual shield teaches you the power of consistency over intensity. It is the small, repeated acts of devotion that build a soul capable of carrying a massive mission. By prioritizing your connection to Allah above all else, you demonstrate that He is the true center of your life. This devotion becomes the fuel for your journey, ensuring that your light never burns out, and that you remain protected, guided, and empowered until your mission is complete. Thank you for staying with me through this deep exploration of your divine purpose. If you have reached this point in the video, it is no coincidence. It is a sign that your heart is ready to embrace the responsibility Allah has placed upon you. Remember, being chosen is not about being superior. It is about being a humble servant who is ready to act when the world is in darkness. As a beautiful reminder to carry with you, when Allah loves a servant, He tests them, refines them, and then uses them for the sake of the world. You are in that process of refinement right now, so do not lose heart. I want to hear from you now. What was the biggest realization you had during this video? Which of the 10 points hit your soul the hardest? Please share your thoughts in the comments below so we can learn from each other. To show that you've made it all the way to the end and to help this message reach more people who are searching for their purpose, please comment the word "chosen" in the section below. Your engagement helps the algorithm find others who need this wake-up call just as much as you did. Thank you for your light and your time. Until next time, stay firm in your faith and keep moving toward your purpose.